please speak on the myth that you can achieve your way to happiness.
Brother, man, that's one of like the universal challenges, man, and it's something I think I believe for a long time, man. And I remember I wrote this something like, your attachments matter more than your achievements. Like the quality of your life is dependent on the quality of your relationships, man. Interestingly enough, I think one of the things I always said is that like if you built your life on if you built like the quality, your identity, your value on something that you could lose, right? You'll never have peace. And I think brothers and sisters in particular come to this place where there's been so many stories of people saying it. Like they got what they thought they wanted. And then it's like they get there and then it's a whole nother, they're like, wait, this wasn't what Jim Carrey talked about it, Madonna's talked about it, where it's kind of like, I thought I needed to make this much money. I thought I needed to do this. And then when they get there, they realize it's unfulfilling. Or they have now a new thing to say, I got there, now this is that. So now I thought 10 million was everything. Now I'm poor because now I need to get to 100 million. And it's just like, man, I always ask myself the question, why are those extra wealthy people, or those people who got all those things, why are they killing themselves? Why are they dealing with addiction? There's so many people I went to school with who had all this money in the world, but they were the ones that were doing the drugs or the high-end drugs or doing all the stuff. And I'm like, but they got the things that I want. And so why, and so you realize, I'm like, man, it's that these achievements don't mean nothing. I think to your point, the achievement is helpful, meaning that I think all of us want to live forever. What I mean by that is that, legacy, we hear brothers, we talk about legacy, man, like who am I, what is my name? And so a lot of times achievements is because you want to make a name for yourself and you want that to follow, right? But then you realize often the only way to really live forever, right? And that desire for legacy is like through people and the impact you have on people. And you realize like at the end of the day, this is fool's gold because there's always going to be a new level that I'm going to try to go through and I'm going to be unfulfilled. And even if I get it, I feel anxiety about keeping it. So then there's no getting off the hamster wheel, right? And again, I think this is an invitation for brothers to consider about faith. Because I'm saying if everything of my lived reality is achieving and attaining things, and then even when I attain the things, I now have anxiety about keeping the things and not losing the things, where will I ever, people sleep but they don't rest. Where will I ever be able to have peace? And again, the number one question, when I ask brothers, what can I pray for? The number one thing is peace. And so it does, and all brothers, whether they have been financially constrained or they have the fruits of some real labor financially, they have all been saying, I'm looking for peace. And so what do they all have in common? Maybe unconsciously the belief that the achievements, I can achieve my way to peace.
I think, man, that's one of the biggest tricks of capitalism. I was at my lowest point when I was the most successful in the eyes of society. And I think that a lot of people, they hear this story, so they believe themselves that if they acquire status, wealth, or any other thing that they're told, that will heal all the pain that they deal with internally. And I could tell you, bro, like personally, like things got real dark for me when things got real good. And I'm not talking about no self-sabotage. It's not like, oh, I don't feel deserving. Yeah. I'm talking about in regards to what I believe that achievement will do for me, or what I felt the accumulation of this wealth would do for me. I'm glad I experienced it early, so I got it out the way. So I give thanks for that, right? But at the same token, I can say I was at my most insecure and lowest point when, in the eyes of society, I would be like the most successful person.
Brother, man, when I say you help somebody, there's a lot of people going to be helped by what you said. There is, everybody knows, man, I don't know if you had siblings, man, growing up. I had siblings, man, and you have 4 of us, right? And we all greedy. And you ever like go out to eat and then you went to Sizzler or something like that? And then like, remember shot Sizzler on Route 1 by Menlo Park back in the day. So so you went to Sizzler and you had some food left over. You know what I'm saying? And you put that joint in the refrigerator, man. And then,
what you about to say,
bruh,
somebody ate that.
You know what I'm saying? And you spent the entire day, man, you in class, man, like the thing's ringing. You're not even paying attention. You just thinking about that Sizzler, that teriyaki chicken or something like that you had. And then you go home and you've been setting up this crescendo of like, man, when I get back, you finish practice, not even talking to nobody. You get to the car, don't have gas in the car. You're like, I got enough. You get back home and you go in there and you anticipate, and you open that joint.
Gone.
And that joint is gone. The fury, not even just the fury, the gaping of your soul, bro. You're like, because you're anticipating this thing. As funny as it is, bro, it is so similar because you've been building up. And it's like your life. That's hunger. You may have starved yourself on purpose because you wanted that thing to be, I wanted to taste everything. But you've often starved yourself and you've starved your life. You've missed things, missed the time with your children, missed family stuff. There's stuff that maybe you can't go back in time and get back. You've missed things.
Miss your own personal health.
Miss your own personal health, bro. I've looked at myself at times. I remember that there was a period of time that I was not sleeping. I look at the lines in my eyes. I can't get it back. I've seen age. There are people who I remember who are a friend of banquet and they doing well, but I'm looking at them, I was like, was it worth it? Like, it's like a ghost, right? Because it's aged you.
The weight.
It's aged you, the weight, the disconnection, the alienation from friendships. Man, I missed the wedding. Shoot, how many kids been born? You know how many friends I know? A friend whose like father was so well done, but he hates him because he was never around for any of his games. So now you get to that place, and that's the hunger. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm seeing all the trail of bones and the trail of bodies along the way. At least let me get here and have a good meal. And you get there, and you reach that plateau and achievement, and it's not there because now you're like, false bill of goods. And then look at what I sacrificed along the way. Was it worth it? And then when you had enough honesty with yourself, enough courage, and I call it testicular fortitude, to be able to be honest. There's a lot of people who they know the truth, but they can't come to terms because actually coming face to face with what they sacrificed of themselves, of other people around them, or what cost. And that's assuming somebody was high integrity.